All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day. We have the wonderful Deann with us today. Always so thankful when she can join us. How are you
I'm
doing?
always excited to see you too. I missed you all week. I always miss you. I look forward to Tuesdays.
Yes, I do too. All right. Well, I'm going to say hello to everybody in the chat real quick. If anybody has, we're doing political, world events, spiritual questions today. So if you have any questions, please write them in all caps. Oh, there we go. Please write them in all caps with a couple heart emojis so I can get those starred. Um, hey, genealogy junkie. Well, I can't speak today. Mama Bear, Viviani, Jane the Seeker. Hello, friend. Hi, ES and Giselle. I have your question. All right. Hi, Lynn. And tweets, Scotchy. Hey, Kay. All right. I have your question. Lynn. Hey, sweetie, darling Lulu.
I love that
Hello.
name.
It's cute, yes.
It is cute.
Super lady.
Renee.
Hi, Linda. Hey, Mimi. How are you doing? All right, everyone. I've been having a lot of people reaching out for readings or Reiki sessions, and I haven't been hearing back from them. So I've responded. I was going to say, make sure that if you reach out to me for a reading, that you check your junk mail, spam mail, because a lot of times, for some reason, it seems to get directed in that place. Okay. All right. So today's probably going to be a short day. Hopefully, my dogs don't go off. My landscapers came today, and I wasn't expecting them. So, hey, Jima. Um, and I also have a bit of a tension migraine. My neck's a little bit out of place. So today will probably be a quicker show, but just wanted to give everybody a heads up on that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started with some of these questions. I
Okay.
saw somebody said that I'm not doing personal readings or mini readings today, although I'll probably come on at some point this week and um, do some personal mini readings. I had fun doing that last week. But somebody said that they've been feeling dizzy lately. Let me see if I can find it.
I'm feeling weird too.
It's really going around, and I've been having a lot of people that have been getting Reiki or readings with me saying this too. And I think the universal energy is really intense right now. We just had a lunar eclipse. Before that, we had a partial solar eclipse, a lot of solar flares. But I also think a lot of people are getting ascension symptoms right now. And so a lot of times you'll hear like ringing or like a vibrating in the ear, and it makes you feel a little bit out of balance.
Yeah.
Um, and I would always just say, yes, talk to your spirit guides and tell them to calm down with the downloads a little bit, that it's a little bit overwhelming for you, and see if that helps with the dizziness. But that's a lot of people are dealing with that right now. All right. See if I miss any other questions. Yeah, yeah, I do need to go to the chiropractor. Thank you, Lynn. My fear with going to the chiropractor though is I feel like once I go, it's gonna be like every month kind of deal, and I just don't know if I want to really deal with that.
And you need to come 3 times a week, and then you need to come this many times a week, and insurance don't cover it. Most people's insurance don't
Yeah.
cover it. Can you do Reiki on yourself, or do you need somebody else to do that on you?
For me,
Uh huh.
yeah. Then I always tell people too, if you're doing Reiki, or if you're interested in getting Reiki treatments a lot, I always recommend going out and seeing a teacher, a Reiki master that will teach you, because then you can give yourself as many treatments as you want and keep your energy in balance. Now, I think if you're going to do readings or practice doing Reiki on other people, it's always good to see another Reiki practitioner just to keep everything in alignment, and to keep those vibrations up. But yeah, once you learn Reiki, you can always give yourself as much Reiki or as little as you like.
I've been
And, you know, if
raking
you
my
think about it too, you know, what you pay for a treatment, if you save up a couple, you know, treatments, there's your Reiki class. So,
I never thought about that. Yeah, we have a Reiki master here that I've gone to before, and
mhm,
I could actually take the class if I just in two treatments instead of I instead of
mhm,
paying for them. Ah,
right.
I'm throwing my cards around, Kevin.
Yeah, yeah, the energy does feel like something big is about to happen. I agree, Sandra. And I think it's all over the place too. I don't think it's just one specific thing. I mean, I think the Ukraine situation, but then, like I said too, everybody get your popcorn ready for January 6th when the public hearings start.
You're gonna see me, and I'm gonna gain all my weight back from all the popcorn I'm eating. What happened to you? What do you call it? Low carb.
Right? So Giselle asks, will Biden run in 2024 and will Kamala be his running mate? I've read on this before, but let's just see if the energy's changed. I do feel Biden will run in 2024, and I think Kamala is going to be his running mate. Let me double check with the pendulum, and I can throw some cards on it, but that's what I've said before, and I'm still feeling that way. All right, pendulum says yes to Biden running in 2024, and yes to him winning. And yes to Kamala being vice president.
I did the pendulum, and it said yes that he would be running. I asked would she be his running mate, and it said maybe. So I threw a couple cards, and I got the Three of Cups, friendships, reunions. So it's a yes on him running again. So yeah, he is going to set in celebrations. And then as far as I pulled a card on, is she going to be his running mate? And I got yes.
Yeah.
And I got the strength card, so confidence and inner strength. So yeah, I got yes on with the pendulum and the cards.
I've always felt Kamala will end up being president because I think Biden will run again in 2024. I don't think that he's going to finish that term. And not because anything bad happens to him, but, he's getting older, and I feel he's very tired.
Yeah, pendulum says yes to that too. I felt that way too because I just think he's getting too old to do another 4 years, and I think he'll win, but I think he won't. He'll have to step down.
I've always
have the first woman president.
Yes, I've always felt too that for some reason I feel like Kamala might choose Pete Buttigieg as a VP, maybe when she runs again. But I've always felt him being vice president, and I felt like them two together.
Yeah. I think he may too. I was I don't know who I had watched one time. You know who Sterling is? He was predicting.
Sterling is.
He predicted that Pete Buttigieg would be vice president, but he predicted it in another 10 years. But I'm not feeling like it may not be that long, But yeah. We'll see. But you both got he got vice president for him too.
Yeah, I felt that when he was running for president in the primary, I feel like there's a good possibility he'll be president too. Bootylicious, yes, as Linda G calls him.
Linda calls him all the time, Bootylicious. He's a good man, I think. I hope he does. I hope he wins in Texas. I think he will. I haven't read on it yet, but lately. But
who wins in Texas? Beta.
I hope Buttigieg wins.
Oh, I mixed those cards all up. Let's see.
They got to get rid of Ted Cruz.
Right.
I think everybody likes him. Isn't he running in Texas? Am I wrong about that? Am I having a brain cramp there?
Pete Buttigieg. You're thinking of Beto.
Beto. I'm sorry, Jane the Seeker. Beto. That's what I was thinking of when I said Texas.
In
Yeah,
Kamala's
Beto.
cards, I get her as the Empress, the female leader. So yes, female president, and there's that celebration. So I still think that she's going to be his running mate in 2024.
Yeah. When I said Texas, I had Beto on my mind, and it just came out wrong.
It's okay.
My mouth and my brain don't always.
All misspeak or get people confused. There's a lot of people that we're reading on, so.
Well, yeah, and the Mercury retro brain isn't helping. Or retro brain. That's a good word for it. I have Mercury retro brain.
You're right. I had a live stream on Saturday, and Mercury retrograde was messing with that.
With your StreamYard?
Yes, with StreamYard, yeah.
So you've got Mercury retro brain too.
Yeah, the Mercury retrograde is intense this cycle around.
It is. I never heard of it before, but now, okay, I get it. It is real.
Yeah, Ted Cruz is. Oh, that's awesome, Viviani. What state are you in? We can definitely look at some of those elections today too. I'll just say intuitively, I feel Fetterman and Shapiro are going to get on the Democratic side for PA. Shapiro's running for governor, and Fetterman's the Democratic side. And he just had a stroke too, but I feel like he's going to recover and be okay here very
feeling
soon.
like Fetterman, yeah. But I haven't read on it either. But I think he's okay.
Both of them are actually going to win in the fall time too.
He had a stroke, but I think he caught it early.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
yeah.
he's fine. You know,
it seems like it was very minor.
Mm-hmm. And people liked him, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then for the Republican side, I think the Trump guy is going to get the governor nomination. I can't think of what his name is. Starts with an M. What?
You talking about Oz?
Well, I think no. I'm talking about for the governor. His name starts with an M. He's the Trump guy. I do think that Oz is going to get the Senate nomination, but I think that woman has gotten a lot of momentum, so it's going to be close between the two of them. So it'll be interesting.
She's more MAGA.
Yeah.
He is more. He will not admit to the big lie. He says we need to have more investigations into our elections. Fox News interviewed him, and I think they were upset with him because he didn't say the big lie. You know. So I think Trump wins either way as far as who he picks, because Oz he picked because he's a celebrity.
His name recognition, yeah.
Yeah, and he waits to see who he thinks popular. If he wins, then he's fine. And if the other lady wins, he'll say, well, it's because he didn't support me in the big lie.
Yeah.
And she did. So either way, yeah.
It's going to be close between the two of them, but I think that Oz is going to end up getting that nomination today. And I was just Googling too. The person I thought that was going to get the governor nomination on the Republican side is Mastriano. Yes. Barrett and Oz, I think, are going to be close. But I think Oz is going to beat her today.
Pendulum's saying Oz.
Yeah. But she's got the momentum right now, too. So she very easily could overtake him. But regardless, it's going to be close between the two of them. There was another candidate that's like in the mix, too. I don't think he's going to get it. It's between Barrett and Oz, but I think Oz is going to.
But don't you think the Democrat, since both of them are so terrible, the Democrats have a good chance of beating either one of them?
Oh, yeah. I see PA saying blue for the governor race and for the Senate race. I don't think that Oz or Barrett can win that seat in the state, just like that Mastriano. He's a big MAGA guy, too. And I don't think that they're winning candidates. Yeah. Yeah, I see Shapiro and Fetterman, I think, are going to be the winners in the midterms. And that will be great because that will be a seat that we flip from Republican to Democrat.
Wendy says she remembers when she saw Fetterman, she thought he was a biker dude. He does look like a biker dude, doesn't he? He looks like a Harley guy.
And I think that that's why people like him in this state, too, because I see Republicans can even like him because he seems like he's very down to earth, and he's not like that establishment kind of candidate. You know what I mean? That a lot of the Republicans are so against.
Hmm.
He's very down to earth, and people like him. All right.
Vivian said he's a badass.
All right. So Lynn had a question. She says, will women, LGBTQ, and other minorities lose the right to vote if they don't carve out the filibuster for constitutional issues? No.
I don't see that.
Nobody's going to lose the right to vote. They might make it harder, but nobody's losing that right. Absolutely
No.
not.
I got a definite no on both of those.
As soon as I read it, no, it's not going to happen. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
worry about that, Lynn. I think it's horrible what with the Supreme Court that leak memo or whatever was written. And I think that they are going to start attacking, women's rights.
They have.
Right, they've already done that. I think they're going to go after the LGBTQ, and gay marriage, and also, sorry, I was getting a phone call. They're going to try to limit like contraceptive and all that kind of stuff. So it's just
Unbelievable.
crazy. It's crazy.
Unbelievable. But yet they want to get rid of public aid and what they call any kind of social programs that help children. The free lunch program, different things like that. They want to get rid of that, but then they want more babies to be born. I really think they want women to stay, like I said, barefoot, pregnant, in the kitchen. They want to bring us back to the 40s.
Right.
And women are not going to do that. And even the Republican women are going to stand up, I think, a lot of them against this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Independent women and even some of the more moderate Republicans that, aren't part of that crazy MAGA QAnon. A lot of them I see being outraged by it and coming out and voting for Democrats.
Yeah, what if their wife gets pregnant and has an ectopic pregnancy where her life is at danger, or their daughter gets raped, or how are they going to feel then?
Right.
Or they have a miscarriage. Are they going to have to prove that it was truly a miscarriage? That's a horrible thing for a woman to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Is she going to have to go to court and prove it was truly a miscarriage, or
stopping people at the state border so that they can't go out of state to get an abortion? What, are you going to stop everybody that's traveling on the freeways at these states? Right.
It's like they saw The Handmaid's Tale and thought, "Oh, good idea." That's how it feels.
Yeah, but like I said, I see them going after them, although I don't see them overturning gay marriage or even able to, I feel like there might be a temporary vote against Roe v. Wade, but I see it being temporary and coming back. And I actually think if they did that, I think that might be why I'm feeling Biden adding another Supreme Court justice to kind of balance it out.
Yeah, need to.
But no, I wouldn't worry about that, Lynn. All right. So Claudia asked, the wounded Ukrainian soldiers that were moved from
Azovstal?
That's the factory that's in Mariupol.
Oh.
That where all the soldiers and a lot of the citizens were held up in, and they were trapped. They were removed from there, but taken to Russian-controlled area. Will Russia go back on its word and do? Go back on its word and do no do?
And not do the agreed upon prisoner exchange? I think that's what they mean.
Did they take them and they want to do a prisoner exchange? Is that what the deal is with that? Because I hadn't heard that.
I'm going to do some cards.
Yeah, me too.
I get they're going to go back on their word. I hope not, but
I feel them being released though too. So
yeah, because I got there will be justice.
yeah.
So that would go along with them being released. And there's some consequences for these things that they're doing. But the cards, I just put them down. I have the cards where they say yes or no. And I did 3 separate cards. All 3 said yes. So let me just make sure I'm asking correctly. Because it's a long question. I want to make sure Are the Russians going to go back on their word about the prisoner exchange? Will the prisoners be released? But I got that they're going to be released, like you said. But they may try to go back on their word.
Yeah.
Throw a couple more cards because that's.
Yeah, I think it's going to take some time before they're released because I get the Temperance card. They will eventually be released. This 3 of Wands, I see that going through. But I see some people being heartbroken in the situation. So I feel like they might hold back because at the bottom of my deck, I had the 4 of Pentacles holding on to them, not releasing them.
Yeah. So. Well, and I did get at the end, like you, I got the 3 of Cups, so that there will be some reunions and celebrations. So I believe that they will get back home. But Putin, he always goes back on his word. He's a liar. Right. You can't believe anything he said. So he may intend to go back on his word as the energy is now.
Mm-hmm. Was frozen? Deann? Was I just frozen?
I didn't see that you were frozen.
No, I was just asking because it was frozen on my screen.
I turned my head a minute, though, to look at the comments. So if you were, I didn't see it. Oh, did you hear Tucker Carlson on there talking about how the Democrats and Trump at his rally talking about how Democrats are giving money to the Hispanic people coming in so that they will be, have them as their voters, that we're just trying to let them in and that we're trying to replace the white people who they say first founded this country. Well, if that's the case, it's the Native Americans have something to say.
Right.
But he had laughed at the end. He had this whole thing, and he's pushing theories like that. And that guy that did the shooting, he was watching him, and he was watching some Facebook group that I looked at just to see what they're telling people. And it's very violent, the group that he was looking at. And they're pushing that conspiracy theory too, that white people are being replaced.
Yeah.
And that's where he decided to go and shoot those people up because of that. Well, Tucker Carlson's still talking about that. And then he laughed at the end, and he sounds like that evil laugh. Have you ever heard that laugh?
No, I try not to watch him.
I try not to, but I wanted to see. Sometimes I like to see what the other side, my friends and people are being told, why they are thinking how they're thinking,
Well, and that's kind of been the whole thing with Republicans for a long time. Even before Trump, maybe they weren't out, out saying racist things, but we all know what they were thinking because they're all for white men, and it's always been the case, and they're afraid that they're eventually, the country's getting more and more diverse, and they're afraid of that because they know that the minorities, for the most part, will vote for Democrats. So.
And they can't win. They're worried about winning. That's all it's about, is keeping their power. Yep.
Yeah, Jane, I agree. They've been pushing that since before 2016. They just weren't outward, being racist before Trump when after he came in, it's okay to say those kind of things. It's
I
just
guess they don't
insane.
care about their Hispanic or their black voters if they have any. Do they think that they only have white voters? Is that all they care about is the white voters? Because they're knocking out that every person of color from the Republican base. Because if I was a person of color and heard them talking like that, I'd be like, nope,
But why
not
do you
part
think a lot of minorities don't vote for them? Because they can see that. Because they don't do anything to help minorities. It's all about straight white men.
Yep. Now they're picking on the women and
Yes, Sherry H. If we show up to vote, the GOP loses every time. That's why they are purging the rolls and making all these ridiculous laws. Amen. Agreed.
yep.
I saw somebody ask too that so maybe we'll just go into this question next, but how do we see so much support for the Dems with inflation, no stimulus, high gas prices, no help from the government, billions sent overseas? I mean, I get why people are frustrated about that. I mean, I don't like gas around me now is 4.50 a gallon, so
Here
it's
too.
it's crazy, and then it's hard for people to make it. But I do see things coming into place over the summer. I feel like January 6th is going to have a lot to do to get people out to vote. I feel there will be some student debt relief before the midterms. And I think with all of this abortion stuff coming out, I think women are going to go vote. So that's how I see them being supportive. I mean, we still have some time before midterms to change things around. So
And it's not just here the inflation and gas prices up, it's everywhere.
everywhere. Yep.
And they're blaming it on the war in Ukraine that we're helping them, that we shouldn't help them because it's knocking our gas prices up. So we were supposed to just like if it was the Holocaust, we're just supposed to stand by and let that happen and because of gas prices, which
Hmm.
I mean, MTG was on there throwing a fit about that.
Well, right. And like Summer says, Biden and the Democrats can't control the gas prices.
No, it's not
They
him.
can't they can't really control the supply chain issues that's causing a lot of the inflation. Um, and as we know too, what the Democrats need to do is start writing bills and trying to pass stuff, and then when the Republicans all vote no for it, say that we try to help you with this. All of these Republicans voted no, so we couldn't get any work done. So why are you going to go vote for them if they're not even going to do things to help you? That's
Yeah.
what they need to do.
And they complain about the supply chain, but yet the truckers are talking about going to Washington again and doing all this like the
Right.
convoy thing. Well, that's holding up our supplies too, but they're okay with that.
Hmm.
It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah. But we have time to turn things around, and I think that we will.
We will.
All right. Sweetie darling Lulu asks, does Moldova need to worry about Russia? It's a country right next to Ukraine. It's a very small country, if I remember correctly.
I'm getting maybe on my pendulum.
I'm not feeling Russia trying to invade, but I feel like there might be some activity in the sea area over there that makes them nervous. I feel like it's the ways, or maybe it's even maybe trade routes or something that Russia tries to block off in that area that has them nervous. But I'm not feeling that Russia's going to invade. I think that I don't. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah. They're worried about it,
Yeah,
but I don't know if they need
I
to
don't
right
see
now.
Russia going in there. They can't even handle Ukraine. How are they going to go and start invading other countries?
They're mad too about the Finland and Sweden wanting to join NATO, and they're acting like all tough, like they're going to do something. What are they going to do?
Well, I
You
mean,
know?
even if they wanted, they could probably send missiles, but they can't send ground troops there. Um, and I do feel that Finland and Sweden are going to join NATO, and it's going to happen here very quickly.
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
think
be
they.
surprised if it happens sometime in June, maybe even at the end of this month. They're going to expedite them and get them in, and Russia's not going to be happy.
Yeah, they're going to join. Pendulum said.
Hmm.
I'm getting like in between June and July with the pendulum.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be soon. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Jane. And please go over to Deann's channel and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We would appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Please and thank you.
Yes. All right. All right. So Jane asks, will Indiana ever turn purple? I'm getting yes, it will be purple, but it's a while out. Like a couple more elections out, maybe in like a decade. I think it's going to get more and more like lighter red, but yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, Jane. I don't see it being purple in the next election or two.
I get in about, with the pendulum, I'm getting in about 8 years.
So a couple elections, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. All right.
When I drove through Indiana, they feel like they need to go blue because they need help over there. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like a very poor places around there that could use help.
Well, and I think Indiana went blue Obama's first term when he was running. Wouldn't that been in '08? I think Indiana went blue. It was one of those few states, and even Missouri too, I think. But since then, it's been trending more and more red. But I see that changing here soon. You know, I think a lot of it has to do with too, as I've always said, I feel like after these midterm elections, when Republicans are so shocked that they lose, with Democrats being in control, they really think that they're going to be able to take back one or both of the houses. And so when it doesn't happen, they're going to realize that Trump is a loser as the head of their party. So we're going to see the Republican Party fracture into two. We're going to see more of the QAnon crazies over here and more of the sensibles over here that realize that with Trump leading the, and the QAnon garbage in their party, that they're not going to be able to win elections anymore.
Not with all that crazy stuff. Yeah. I see the two Republican parties right now. I see the moderate, the ones pulling away from him. Some of them that supported him when nobody else would support him are now pulling away from him.
Yeah, not a whole lot, but we'll see more of it after midterms.
Mm-hmm.
Debsy asks, will the era ever pass? It would protect all of those things. Somebody was just reading on that, and I'm not sure what this is. If somebody in the chat can tell me, or if you're still here, Debsy.
I'm getting yes with the pendulum. Let me see what I get.
Because I'm not sure what this law does. Equal Rights Amendment. Thank you, Mimi Rose.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling yes too. Is this something that states need to vote on, or is it something that would be passed federally? Because it would be a change to the Constitution, right? Because I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time still. My guys are showing me 2, so I think it might be about 2 years out. But I do feel like it will be passed.
And pendulum's getting about 3 years, so maybe between 2-3 years.
Oh, it's a federal bill? Okay. Yeah, maybe it's towards the end of, before the next election, in 2024. Maybe they pass it right beforehand, yeah. But yeah, I do feel it will pass. Thank you, everybody, for the help. All right.
Yeah, they can't even, Republicans can't even say what they're going to do for the people. What was it McConnell said? Well, when we get in, then we'll tell you.
Go figure. We're still waiting on Trump to release his healthcare plan. That's going to be so great.
Or suspend Carlson for his views that incite. I think they're going to make him have to tone it down after that shooting in particular. Let's see.
Yeah, and I feel like there's going to be lawsuits against Fox and him because I do feel that Fox will eventually change because they're going to lose so much money on these lawsuits. I don't know about suspend, but I think they might fire him, but it's maybe a year out still. I don't feel like it's going to happen this year.
Couple years, I get.
Yeah.
Couple years, but I think they are going to, after that shooting and this other shooting that happened the same day in the church and stuff, and that, knowing that happened because of his race replacement theory and stuff, they're going to have to tell him, you need to tone it down. But they just care about the money and the ratings. They don't care about the truth. You know,
well, that's the thing. Once they start getting sued because their programs incited a lot of this, you know, they're going to start getting hit with huge lawsuits and lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
I see massive lawsuits against Fox News, like in the next year or two. Yeah.
Isn't he still fighting Dominion? Doesn't he have a lawsuit with them still?
Yeah. And I don't see that bearing well for him. It's Fox News, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's him and who else was in that? That tall Kraken lady.
Yeah.
I'm going to release the Kraken. She got out of it for some reason, but yeah, he's still.
Giuliani, I think, aren't they suing him too?
Who?
Giuliani.
Yes, that's who it was. Giuliani and Tucker Carlson both are in that lawsuit.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that lawsuit recently, but I don't think it's going to be good for them. I see Dominion winning.
I hope they win. Dominion. There has to be consequences for spewing hate and stuff like that, and people die. They've got blood on their hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's like you can't go into an airport and yell, bomb. Like there has to be some kind of regulation for those kind of things, emergencies, things. You can't incite people to go out and start shooting people.
Yeah, there's a difference between free speech and inciting violence and spreading horrible lies that put fear in people to where people go out and do terrible things.
All right. Let's see. All right. Well, I have 2 questions left. So if anybody has any other questions, please go ahead and write them in all caps with a couple heart emojis. Like I said, we've been on for about 40 minutes, so we'll probably be on for another 15, 20 minutes if we're getting questions still. Oh, hi, pure visionary psychic medium. All right. So if Putin makes an assault on Ukraine from the Black Sea, will the defending forces defeat him?
Yes, I get they will defeat him if he does that.
Well, he already is kind of doing an assault from the Black Sea, isn't he? That's why they have all those ships in there. The one that they blew up.
Oh, well, I get that they will defeat him with the pendulum anyhow.
Yeah.
Strong, yes.
Yeah, I feel they will too. Well, and as you're seeing too, they're really struggling in the east part of Ukraine. I mean, it's already being pushed out. Yeah, I mean, they're struggling to take over that because all the Ukrainian troops keep coming back and they will fight to defend their land and to keep it.
I got the high priestess. Yes. They know. They're prepared.
You know what? With a high priestess, I just heard it's the intel sharing that they're getting from like us.
Oh yeah,
and that's how they got that boat too. They were saying It was because of intel that the U.S. gave them that they were able to sink that ship.
Yep. Threw 3 cards down just for yes or no. The pendulum said that yes, they'll defeat them. I
Mhm.
got 3 yes cards and the high priestess.
Yeah. Maxine, a week or two, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I kept on, my guides were showing me airplanes. So they will receive airplanes, yes. And I feel like maybe they might have already done it. They're just keeping it under wraps because they don't want that, they don't want Russia to get angry about it. Or at least drones, I think that they've already sent over there.
Yes.
Yes, that they'll
Saying yes.
send,
Mhm.
send them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to receive them.
hmm Yeah, Earth Mama, Putin's gonna have to leave. We've read on this site quite a few times. I've always seen him leaving. I'm not sure if it's alive either. I kind of
And
feel like
yeah,
he won't be alive. For entertainment purposes only. Thank you.
yes, I'm getting that he's going to be pushed out.
I don't think it's going to be too far off, too. I feel like it's going to happen within the next few months.
Let's try my board here. Will Putin leave? Be pushed out of office in 1 month. 2. Pendulum thing's saying about 4 months.
Yeah.
But yes. So,
Yeah, I've read on his health before, Debsy. I feel he is terminal. And I think that's why he's so dangerous right now, too, because it's like, well, what do I have to lose? But I don't think that those around him would let him, drop a nuke or anything like that. I don't think that he would have an issue with it because,
I get that he's terminal, but it's not the sickness that's going to take him out. Is somebody else going to take it? Maybe somebody else is going to.
yeah.
What did you get on that? Did you say? Did you get somebody else?
Well, I definitely pick up that he has terminal
Yeah.
health issues, but just because it's terminal doesn't mean that that's what takes him out. I've always felt like there's, people are going to try to overthrow him from the government.
Well, I got the Tower in reverse. He's been, resisting change or disaster here in the past. He's trying to avoid a tragedy. He got the Chariot right now because he's hoping that he's going to have victory. He wants to go forward and have victory right now. But in the future, I got he's going to be defeated.
Mm-hmm.
And
Even with the Chariot, it could mean that he has to run and flee.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, some Russians are getting dismayed with Putin. Yep. And I was just reading somewhere the other day that they were talking about people are already talking about starting a coup against him and overthrowing him. Like that's already in the works. Yes, very true.
Karma always comes back and gets you, no matter how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
You do evil things like that.
Somebody says, has Biden and Obama's relationship cooled by some reports by the media? I feel like Obama wasn't. I don't feel like personally that there's an issue between the two of them. I don't think Obama was maybe wanting to come out and support him when he was running for president, just because he's ran for president so many times, and he probably didn't think that he had a good shot. But I don't think that there's any. I'm not picking up any major issues between the two of them.
I didn't know they're still friends. It's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, Biden's busy. He was busy when he was president, so, I'm sure that they're probably not talking on the phone every day. So in that regards, yeah, it's probably cooled a little bit, but I don't get that there's an issue between the two of them.
I didn't either.
Let's see.
Yeah, Debsy, I seen that one time. I read about that one time too on one of the past readings I did, but I haven't read about that recently. It's okay though. That was a long time ago, that reading she did.
That's a good question. I wouldn't mind throwing some cards on
I
that.
would like to do that too.
Cheryl asks, why won't Turkey vote for Finland and Sweden to join NATO? Why are they so invested in Russia and Putin's agenda? But I was just saying too that they wanted to help Ukraine too, so they're kind of all over the place. Turkey's a member of NATO, aren't they?
I don't know. I can't.
Well, yeah, they would have to be if they're against voting for them. Yeah.
Why won't Turkey vote for Finland?
I get that. I just heard the word bribe. So there must, even though they're playing both sides of the fence, there's still a connection to Russia, and Putin is so against. Um, I think it's Finland that borders Russia. They're so against NATO being right on their borders. So there's been some kind of bribes or talking, maybe money exchanges, to keep that from happening.
I don't think the Queen of Cups here in reverse, I don't think they trust Russia. I don't know if they think that that's going to affect them in any way. They think it's going to cause some sort of bad news for them or affect them with, I'm having a tough time with this one. But they got a fear about it. It's death in reverse was the final card here about they have a fear about it. They're worried about, they're resisting change. And they're fear of new beginnings. So I'm not sure. New ideas. At the center, I got the Ace of Swords. So I don't know if that talks about, are they worried about they're going to be bringing new ideas? They're going to have, I'm really kind of having trouble with this question. What are you thinking?
Well, I was kind of just saying what I just got when I was picking up intuitively, because when I was trying to tap in at first, it felt like it was really kind of confusing too. But then I heard the word bribe, so I feel like there's a connection, and it's because, well, yeah, and I don't think the leader is, he's pretty corrupt himself, the leader of Turkey. So I feel like there was a money exchange because Russia is they do not want NATO right at their doorstep. And that's why they've been so against Ukraine joining NATO for the longest time. And then I feel like they're holding out because they were paid money with the Four of Swords, but it's not going to matter because justice is coming. They're going to be able, the balance is going to shift, and they will become a member of NATO with the Wheel of Fortune. And they're trying to delay it, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop it. Do they all have to vote on voting somebody in? Because I feel like if anything, it's just them trying to delay things. But I feel them becoming members of NATO very shortly.
Well, you mentioned about bribes and stuff, and I did get in the charity or giving, gifts, generosity, or charity, losing money. So maybe that's what it is. They're losing money.
Kind of relationship.
They feel like it's bad timing right now to do it for them. I can get out of it.
Oh, it has to be unanimous vote. Well, then they must change their mind because I feel like them getting in there. I feel like on one part that the leader's really upset about what's going on in Ukraine. So it's kind of like he's very back and forth because he doesn't like what's going on over there and wants to help, but also I feel like there's a relationship there between him and Putin as well.
Yeah, they have a close relationship. Something to do with money.
Yeah, I feel like there was money exchanged too. Oh, that's a good point. Maybe that's why I'm getting money. NATO will bribe Turkey to vote yes, as per other readers. Could be because I see them changing their mind. I feel like I definitely feel them getting accepted into NATO, and Putin is so furious.
Pendulum saying yes on that about bribing Turkey.
Maybe that's why I heard bribe. All right. We'll end on this question. Lynn D says, Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe, but no one is planning anything. What's going to happen with that? I do feel like there is going to be some shortages. It's not going to affect us. It's going to start affecting. I don't think it's going to affect us in the U.S. as much, but Europe, I definitely feel like it's affecting.
I get a huge yes on that causing shortages.
Yeah. But I mean, there's other grains. I mean, if people have to adjust their diets for a little bit. But I do feel like the U.S. is going to be. I feel like a lot of farmers are already in on this, and a lot of wheat's getting planted here to be shipped off. Yes, studio. Ukraine will take back Mariupol. It'll take a little bit of time, but yeah.
Pendulum says yes on that also. A large yes, a huge yes. So.
All right, everybody. Well, I think we're going to end it here, but thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out. Please hit that thumbs up, and please go subscribe to my channel and Deann's if you haven't already. Do you have anything that you would like to share? Any collabs that you have going on, Deann?
Oh, let me see here, really, really quick. I'll just look at my calendar. I have tomorrow. I have free tomorrow. On the 20th, on Friday, I'm on with Renee, the TLC Movie Club, and we're going to be reviewing that movie, The Knowing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 23rd, I'm going to have Aiden Learns Tarot on.
Oh, nice.
So
you have
a couple other shows, but I gotta work with the times, to change some times around.
Is it next week that we have a collab with Danny Shea on your channel?
The 25th at noon.
Yeah.
We got a collaboration with Danny Shea. Yeah, Bathrobe Tarot. And I put it on my community page for anybody who has any questions they want to ask if they can't be there live, just to let us know in case, people don't have questions for a while. So we'll have a few questions that we can answer for those that can't be there.
Fun. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much. If anybody's interested in a reading from me or Deann, I have our information in the description box. Please email us if you're interested, and I will see you all very soon, okay? All right, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.